This is the most fun I've ever had making a mobile app with AI. Before I get into what tool I'm using for this, I think the biggest reason that it's been so much fun is because I've done it all on my phone. And the app that I've been using to do this is called Vibecode, and they've just released a huge update which makes building mobile apps on your phone as easy as editing a video. If you watch to the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to start building mobile apps using Vibecode and how you can go from idea to a real app that can be published on the App Store. If you don't know me, my name is Chris, and for the last 15 years, I've been designing apps and advising startups on product and design. With that said, let's get straight into the new version of Vibecode and see how it works.
Build great products. Build great products.
This is the new version of the Vibecode app, and this is really a super intuitive user experience and interface for building mobile apps. And they've just launched a ton of new features and a whole new editing interface. I'm going to show you exactly how that works and why this is so much fun. And I think this is such a fun way to build mobile apps, whether it's a personal mobile app or an app that you want to actually publish to the App Store. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that as well. I'm going to go through the entire process, take you through it step by step. And so first, let's actually just create a mobile app using Vibecode here. You can see all of the ones that I've created here previously. And so let's just do new app. And what we're going to be presented with here is just basically a big text field. We type in our idea. You can also enable Cloud, and Cloud is like Lovable Cloud or Bolt's kind of built-in database and authentication setup. Basically, Vibecode is providing you with database, authentication, and a backend so you can allow users to log in and sign up. But one thing to know for mobile apps is that you actually don't always need a database authentication and login, because if the information that a user is saving, or if the thing that your app does is just saving data locally to a user's phone, or you want to just basically put a one-time price in your app in the App Store, you actually don't need database and authentication because you don't need to track users and everything is being stored locally on the user's device. And so let's actually get into start creating a mobile app now, and we're going to try and create a mental well-being app that allows you to record a reflection every single day and then gives you some kind of like end of day meditation. And we're going to add in audio and also voice using 11 Labs to kind of write a script for a meditation and then read that meditation back to us. And kind of integrating all of this tech, it becomes super easy within this interface here. So let's start building. So we've got a prompt in here. We basically said, let's create an app that lets users create a daily reflection using their voice for what happened that day, what they're feeling, and what they've accomplished. After the reflection has been recorded, allow the user to generate a meditation from this reflection, which would generate a meditation style transcript using OpenAI about 2 minutes long, and then use 11 Labs to convert that script into voice that we can listen to at the end of the day. I want the design to be a super clean, minimal, and calming with a clean white look and feel with lots of white space. Use instrument serif from Google Fonts for headings and DM Sans from Google Font all other text. Those are my classic kind of go-to fonts if you've seen any of my other videos where I build something. And I'm also following my prompt framework here, where I kind of give in this first prompt the context of the app that I'm building, the user journey that I want the user to go through, any technology that I want to use for the features, and then some design direction to get started as well. So let's send this off to Vibecode. And one of the great things about Vibecode as well is they've built in the kind of use of voice to kind of add these prompts in as well. So you can just click that microphone button and actually just record your prompt straight in as well. And this is going to actually spin up a Claude Code instance to start building your app. So they're using the best coding agent out there in Claude Code to actually write the code for your app and build this behind the scenes. And whilst this is generating here, you're going to notice a few things which look very different to a traditional kind of AI coding tool or AI coding interface. And that is that this kind of looks more like something like CapCut instead of an AI coding tool. We've got our coding view here, or like our agent view here, where we can see the chat with the AI agent. If I go into tasks here, I can see the list of tasks that it's going to be working through. So implement OpenAI meditation script, integrate 11 Labs text to speech for audio, create audio playback screen for navigation, for meditation, all of those tasks. Let's close that. But what you've got along the bottom here is all of these elements of the Vibecode app that you can do whilst the AI agent is working on your code. So now this AI agent's working on the code for the app. I can actually click image here. I can start generating images using AI to use in my app. And then once I've generated them, I can just tap them and then click add to prompt and tell it where I want that the AI to add that image into our app. You can also do the same for audio here. So what I'm going to do whilst we're waiting is actually say we're going to generate some music here. So let's do some background ambient calming meditation music. I'm going to send that off, and this is going to generate that music for my app. So let's send that there. So you can see that's now working to generate that. I can close this tab and come back to it at any point, and you can see it's still generating there. So I can go between any of these tabs and actually just kind of build my app, all of the different assets that I need. And this is why I think it's like so much fun, because you can just go between all of these different things and actually start using it. And I know this is a sponsored video, but I genuinely have been enjoying this, and I don't partner with anyone unless I enjoy the product and have actually used it myself and would recommend it to people. So that's why I'm kind of doing this video, to kind of show you through this stuff as well. So you can add haptics as well, which is like when you tap, it kind of like makes a little kind of jolt, or like something on the phone happens that it feels like you've tapped something. So you can add like heavy impacts, light impacts, all of that sort of stuff to your buttons. And you've got these other more technical categories here as well down the bottom. So you've got API. If I go into API, in my first prompt here, I've told it explicitly what APIs I want to use for different things. But if you don't do that, you can do that at any point from this API menu. And so this basically allows us to use built-in AI functionality in our app. Now, this is going to use our Vibecode credits. So it might not be something that you want to do for an app that's going to scale up to thousands and thousands of users. But at least to start off with, it gives you a great foundation for building this AI functionality into your app, doing things like text generation, image generation, data. You've got Apple Maps, all of these APIs here, the open weather API, so crypto market data. You can add in all of these things. Movie database, if you want to create an app that links to movie information. And for audio here, we've got like 11 labs, which we've used in our app already. I've already explicitly said that in the first prompt here to start building. And what you do is you just click on them and you click add to prompt, and that adds it into your next prompt. And you can actually queue up your prompt here for the next prompt as you start building. So one of the things that is a downside of using traditional AI coding tools is that you kind of put a prompt in and you wait for the result. And whilst you're waiting, you've got about 2 to 10 minutes of dead space that you can either fill by like scrolling on your phone or doing whatever kind of meaningless task that you're doing to kind of like fill that time. But I found that this is a super nice flow for just like jumping in and out of different things as and when you need to. You've got Cloud here, which is coming soon. This is still in beta. So one thing that I know the guys at Vibecode are working really, really hard on is to bring native database authentication and also payments to the Vibecode app, just to make it super, super easy to add these things as you're building your mobile app on your phone. So you can do that when you go and when you do your first prompt there, you can add the cloud. So you can add a database and authentication to your app. You've also got logs, which is super useful to see like console logs for your app. This highlights any errors or anything that's happening behind the scenes with your app as you build. You've got ENV, which if you're non-technical might seem a bit scary. I don't even know what ENV means. ENV basically means environment variables. And to give you a basic overview of what an environment variable is, essentially it's like an API key. It's a variable in your app's environment that allows it to connect to other services like 11 Labs, like Google, like Grok, like OpenAI here. And we can select them and add them to the prompt as well. And we can also tap here to add our own environment variables. So if we do want to use our own API keys, we can do that directly through this tab. And then you've got 2 other ones here which are coming soon. So you've got UI, which is basically going to be drag and drop UI components that you can put straight into your mobile app. And you've got payments as well. So you can add payments into your app. And that is going to be massive, because I think none of the mobile app building platforms really have nailed this. Like the only option you have a lot of the time if you're building in like a web browser based mobile app building tool is either to use Stripe, which isn't in-app purchases, it's not native functionality, or you have to take your app's code out of the tool you're building in, take it into something like Cursor, use something like Claude Code to actually integrate something like Revenue Cat into your app to be able to do in-app payments. And then you've got to test that on test flight and go through all of these steps to actually get it done. So once they've added that, that is going to be absolutely massive. Those are the kind of key sections that you've got in your app for all of the things that you need to add to your app. Now our AI coding agent here has done, it's completed our initial app build from that first prompt. So all you have to do here is you just click on this down arrow from the top, and then you get your app here. Now this is just a blank white screen. If I go in, I can see it there. Daily reflection, take a moment to reflect on your day. What happened? How are you feeling? What did you accomplish? So let's tap to start recording here. I'm gonna have to do this on my phone directly. So now we have our reflection. This has transcribed my reflection here. I love the design of this as well, actually. Like, I usually go for these super minimal, like black and white with like sans serif, like display kind of style font here. Ready to create your personalized meditation based on your reflection. Let's see if this actually works. I'm going to click generate meditation, and I'm hoping that this is going to generate a meditation. Oh, it said failed. Okay, so that's fine. When you build apps, you're going to get bugs. And I just want to clear this up as well. I said this in a lot of other recent videos, but when you build apps, you're going to get bugs. What's important is having a process to fix them and understanding that this is always going to happen, at least in some capacity. So let's click fix here. So it says, please fix the following errors: error generating meditation, error 11 labs API key not found in environment variables. All I did was click fix. So what it's found here is there are no API keys set yet. The user needs to add them through the Vibecode API tab. Let me also check if there are pre-configured API integrations. The API keys already exist. So it basically just hadn't added the right API keys here for 11 labs. So let's wait for this to finish up, and then we'll test the meditation generation again. Whilst it's doing that, I want to go back to my audio because I generated some background music here. So let's have a listen. It's, yeah, spot on. Okay. So that's why I wanted that like background ambient kind of sound. Hopefully this is recording the music. So we've got that ambient sound there. Let's pause that. So now the API key issue has been fixed. So let's click on this down arrow from the chat and let's go back into our app again and try and generate a new meditation. So this is just downloading the app for us. We're gonna have to go through the daily reflection process again. Quick break in the episode to talk about my community for people building apps with AI. It's called the AI App Builders Academy. Inside, you'll learn how to plan, build, launch, and grow a profitable app with AI in just 21 days. And you'll also get access to more advanced courses like how to build with Claude Code, how to build mobile apps, how to build AI agents, and more, with new lessons being released every single week. On top of that, you'll also get over $3 million worth of AI deals so that you can start building at zero cost, and also access to our weekly Q&A sessions where you can get unstuck on your app building journey. And if you sign up to our VIP annual plan, which is offered at a 60% discount, you'll also get access to monthly group coaching and workshops, as well as our community demo day where you can pitch your app idea to me and other VIP founders to get business and strategic advice on your app. This community is full of people building real applications with AI and getting real paying customers, and this is the lowest price that it's ever going to be because we increase the price for every 50 members that join the community. And so if you want to lock in your price and start building your app business today, then just head over to school.com/AI apps to find out more. I'll see you there. So now it's fixed that 11 labs issue. Let's actually see if this works. So I click continue. I've done a recording on here. It's transcribing the reflection. We've got our transcribed reflection here, which is perfect. Ready to create personalized meditation. Let's click generate and see if this works this time. There we go. Okay, so hopefully this has generated a meditation kind of voiceover that we can listen to here. So it's got the script here. Let's begin by finding a comfortable position. Close your eyes gently, take a deep breath. Today you achieved so much. You shared your knowledge, expanded your community, and took steps forward in your journey. So what I wanted to do with this was to have like a bit of a positive and kind of affirming like meditation for the day off of what you've already done. Because sometimes it's easy to get caught up in thinking that you should be doing more, or that you're overwhelmed and you're burnt out and you're stressed, when actually you're doing as much as you can. And we need to be reminded of that sometimes, I think. So it's just a nice little positive thing. You could do this as a personal app or do this and kind of like release it to other people to actually use this as well. Let's press play and listen to the audio and see if it's come through.
Let's begin by finding a comfortable position. Close your eyes gently and take a deep breath in through your nose, and slowly exhale through your mouth. Feel the weight of your body supported by the ground beneath you. Today, you achieved so much. You shared your knowledge, expanded your community, and took steps forward in your journey.
There we go. It's done it. So what I want to do to this now is I want to add the audio that I generated. So we can add that audio behind the meditation voiceover. So I'm going to jump back to the phone just to do, and one thing that I can't do whilst I'm mirroring this is do the pinch to edit, to zoom in and out. But that's this kind of like interaction where you pinch like the sides of the screen on the app, and then it zooms out so that you can access the editing view again as well. So we've now gone back to this editing view. You can see my app in the middle. Let's go to audio, and I'm going to click this audio that we generated here, add that to prompt and say, add this music in the background of every meditation voiceover so that this plays quieter behind the meditation script. So let's say that. One of the other things that I didn't cover on here as well is that you can do this select thing here and just select an element like within your app to edit specifically, which can also be super helpful. Let's send this off. And then what we can do, whilst this actually generates that, I'm just going to show you how you can share this. So if you want to share it with people, you can just click share and you can publish this as an app clip that you can share to anyone with an iPhone. I'm going to go back to the agent chat. So the implementation ensures a smooth, calming experience with the soothing background music, enhancing your meditation without distracting. Okay, so let's see if it actually works. So here we go. We've got the meditation script. Let's play this.
Let's begin by finding a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, allowing yourself to settle into this moment.
So it seems like this is maybe not playing the background sound behind it, or at least it's very quiet if it is. So let's just say, can you increase the volume of the background music on the meditation playback? And we're going to send that off to get that sorted. Whilst that's doing that, looking at the app, I want to generate some sort of background image here, and I probably should be clearing the chat history just every time I make a change to something different, and we're kind of switching context here. It's generally good practice to clear the chat history, so I will do that when we make any more changes. I'm going to do a background. Let's generate an image here. So just soft pastel orbs in the center of the image on a plain white background. Let's generate that image just to use in the background of our app. I think that's going to make it feel a little bit more interesting instead of just this black and white screen. We've got done. I've increased the background music volume from 0.25 to 0.5 in the meditation playback. Let's just say, let's increase the volume of the background music to 0.75. So I think that will be better. Actually not 100% on that. So let's say overlapping soft pastel orbs in the center of a plain white background. So let's send that off as well. And then let's also say a pastel mesh gradient on a plain white background focused on the center of the screen, and generate an image here as well. So because this is still not working, I'm going to say ultra think about why this might not be working and fix any issues you can find. The audio is still not playing when I play the meditation voiceover. We might have to try a slightly different approach here. Let's send this off to the AI coding agent in Vibecode and see what it comes back with. In the meantime, again, we can have a look at the images that we generated here. So these are much better. Actually, I really like this mesh gradient one. So we're going to add that to the prompt and add that to the background of our app after we've fixed this audio issue. So now it seems to have found a bunch of errors now that it's done ultra think about this issue. It's researched the documentation on the web. And so let's go back in and see if this has actually fixed the audio issue here. So these sounds are now playing together after the meditation is generated.
And let it carry away any tension as you breathe out.
So you can hear the background music.
Today. Filming those videos and updating your community show your dedication and passion. It's okay to feel the weight of these efforts, and it's okay to feel the discomfort that came with your migraine. Acknowledge these
Yeah, I had a migraine today. It wasn't fun. So that's what I had in my reflection. But it's now working with the sound, which is great. So let's do the image background change here that we wanted to use. We generated those images. So let's go back into the image menu in Vibecode. So let's go back into the image menu here. We've selected this image here, not that one. Let's add that to the prompt, and let's add this as a full screen background. Let's add this image as a full screen background throughout the entire app. And let's send that off. And we're going to add that to our app to add that into the background. And that should improve the design for our app as well. And then after we've done that, I'm going to show you exactly how you would publish this app to the App Store. There's probably a few more things that you might want to add here. If you're actually publishing this to the App Store and getting people to download it, you might want to add in an onboarding flow to kind of guide people through it. And because this is going to be using AI credits, you also might want to add database and authentication here so that maybe we can add in-app payments where we would be able to charge a subscription on a monthly basis to kind of cover those AI credits that people are going to be using on a daily basis when they're generating their kind of meditations every single day. That's kind of the best way to do it. I'd say if you don't have AI functionality, then you can maybe charge up front for your app. You can always still charge a subscription, but if you have AI functionality in there that costs you every time something is generated, you're going to probably want to do more like in-app subscriptions, that sort of thing, if you want to add payments here. But we can go through the whole process of publishing this to the App Store without adding that stuff in yet. I just want to show you exactly how to do it. So now we've got our gradient in the background here on this app. So this is looking pretty slick. I'm happy with how this looks now. From a design point of view, I think this looks pretty good actually. And now I want to show you exactly, now that we've got the meditation working, playback working, and we've got the background image in here to kind of update the design, I want to show you exactly how to publish this app to the App Store from the Vibecode app on your phone. And all you have to do is go to this drop down at the top here. You click Publish to App Store. And this is going to take you step by step through the process of publishing your app to the App Store. You are going to need a few things here before you publish your app to the App Store. So you need an Apple developer account. You need to be enrolled in the Apple developer program to have access to App Store Connect, which is where this is going to publish your app to. So it's not going to go straight onto the App Store. It's going to add this app to your App Store Connect account, basically with Apple, after you've enrolled in the developer program. And from there, you're going to be able to submit it to review, basically in the Apple App Store. You're also going to need an Expo account with Expo credentials, basically, to build this app. And if you don't know what building the app is, it's basically kind of compiling all of the code, all of the assets into like a bundle, into a file that the App Store can understand is an app. And the technology that it's using to do that is called Expo. You don't really need to know much about that other than to go to Expo and set up your account. So it's just expo.dev if you don't know. If you go to expo.dev, create an account, and then you'll be able to get your Expo credentials. So let's click Get Started here in this app. And we've basically kind of got to tick here. I've paid for the Apple Developer Program. I've signed all required agreements in App Store Connect. I have my Apple device ready to receive two-factor authentication codes, which is just the device that you add to the Apple Developer account when you sign up. There are links here to go to App Store Connect and to join the Apple Developer Program. So I'm just going to click Next here. I'm going to sign up with my Apple developer account. Just sign in with my Apple developer account here. I don't have an Apple Team ID. Let's call it Reflect and Meditate. And it's a pretty basic name. We probably want a better name than that, but let's just leave it as that for now. Version number, do we want to support iPad? I'm going to leave that off. Click Next. Let's actually generate an app icon. So this is where we add our app icon. If you want to design one yourself, you can use ChatGPT or something else to actually design the app icon and then upload it from your phone here. Otherwise, you can just click Generate, and let's just say so we say a soft pastel blur on a white background with a calligraphy R in the middle. Let's generate an icon for our app here. Let's use this as our icon. I think that's pretty good. Let's use that as our app icon. Let's go next. We got your bundle ID, which you can create a custom bundle ID if you want to, or you can just use the one that's provided by Vibecode. If you have a domain, or if you want to have a website for your app that people could go to find out more about your app, then you could buy a domain here and then use that for your bundle identifier. Generally, your bundle identifier is your URL for your domain. So say I got reflectandmeditate.com, it would be com.reflectandmeditate, and then the name of the app here, basically, which would be maybe reflect and meditate, or whatever name we want to give this app. I'm just going to say yes to this for now, because this is just going going to add it to App Store Connect. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. Add an access token from Expo. So this is basically, you would click this link. So I'll click this link, go over to expo.dev. You sign into your account on Expo, and then you get an access token by signing into your account. So let me log into my account here. Choose my Expo account, which is this one, and then you'll come to this access token page once you've created your account on Expo. All you have to do is create a token for your app. So we're going to generate a new token. I'm going to call it Reflections. Let's generate a new token. Once we've generated it, we get one chance to copy this to our clipboard. So save this somewhere safe because you won't get a chance to generate this again. And then we just do a start build. And this will start building our app to our Apple developer account, and it will show up in App Store Connect. So that is everything that you need to know about building an app using Vibecode, adding images, adding audio, adding 11 labs for text to speech, all of that functionality, adding haptics, anything that you can kind of imagine for your app, and connecting APIs. You can do it all from the Vibecode app on your phone. And then after you've done that, how you can publish it directly to your Apple developer account and get it onto the App Store. So that is the new Vibecode app. I think it's just a super interesting experience, building a mobile app on the phone with an interface that feels more like video editing. It's just a different AI coding experience. And I think that's the main thing that makes it so unique. They've really tried super hard to create a totally different interface from other AI coding tools, and the fact that you can just do it all from your phone is really, really impressive. Now there is a desktop app that they are updating as well, so that you will be able to jump between desktop and your phone to build mobile apps, and they are adding those features over time. So they're going to be releasing the full version of Vibecode Cloud, and they're also going to be adding payments to the app at some point in the future as well. I think we're really on the cusp of this massive kind of vibe coding revolution right now, and if you can get in right now and learn these tools and start building apps, even if you're just building them for fun and not to actually do anything with, you're going to be ahead of so many people once all of these really tough integration and infrastructure issues start to get figured out by these platforms. And if you really want to, you can build a fully featured app on Vibecode and publish it to the App Store as well, all directly from your phone. Now, if you are building an app, or you've got an idea for an app and you want to start building it with AI, I do have a community helping people do that, whether that's a mobile app or a web app. The community covers both, and you can find out more by just going over to school.com/AI apps. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Build great products. Build great products.